Understandably, I have no clue why Low is so depressing. Um, but the bigger part of that is the reason it is so depressing. It's so compelling and so lovely, and it makes you want to keep coming back for more. Let me set the stage just a little bit. I'm Ox. I write my own comic series entitled I Never Forgot. I just came out with my first trade in May of 2016. It encompasses issue 1 through 4. I write and draw the whole thing myself. The backdrop behind me, actually, you can see is issue 4. I will throw some links down below. You can buy the trade, issue 5 right now as well. And I'll throw some links down below that you can read it online too, so you don't have to pay for it. You can check it out, give it a test drive, whatnot, and see how you feel about it. But with that being said, since I've been into this comic world for 2 years now, I've kind of been looking for reviews and jumping off points of how to get into comics, and I really haven't found too many. I have found a couple great podcasts, the Gamma Dames, I'll link them down below, as well as Your Mother's Basement, which goes live every single Sunday. Links down to those below. Some great shows, check those out for sure. They go about hour and a half usually. A lot of fun, a lot of good chemistry between all of those folks. But let's get into the reason why you've come here, and that is the story Low. This is written by Rick Remender. The art is by Greg Tuscini. And I just absolutely love this story. I'll get into some more details. You can see this sweet cover. This is volume 1. It encompasses issues 1 through 6. It has a matte cover finish with some glossy bits. You can see Stell on the front cover. Back. It goes for about $10. You can find it for about $6. Sometimes cheaper, but $6 is about a reasonable price to get it brand new. Let me read the blurb for it on the back for you. In the far distant future, the sun's premature expansion has irradiated Earth, sending humanity to the lowest depths of the seas, hidden within radiation-shielded cities, while probes scour the universe for inhabitable worlds. After tens of thousands of years, a single probe returns, crashing on Earth's surface, a now alien place no human has seen for millennia. Now Stell Kane and her husband Joel, the last helmsman of the once great city of Salis, must rise from the depths of mankind's despair and journey to the surface in search of salvation. A little bit more frequent collaborators. Rick Remender does also Black Science, Deadly Class, and Tokyo Ghost right now, which, if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm enthralled with Tokyo Ghost right now. I'll be doing a review of that too. Probably the first trade, just like this one. And Greg Tuscini, who's done art for Last Days of American Crime, Uncanny X-Force, dive into this aquatic sci-fi fantasy tale of a family's struggle to rekindle the flame of hope in a dark and dying world. You see Stell on the cover. For those wondering, this first volume does come with the original covers for, you can see that's issue 3 they used for the cover, and then on the back side they used issue 5, and they're great looking painting. Like, you can see the art is very done in such a different style, and it looks like those covers for the issues were painted. Just gives a nice general aesthetic that just looks lovely. So the story kind of divulged a little bit on the back blurb, but I'm going to dive a little bit further into that. So it starts off the whole thing with this note from Rick Remender. And I don't believe that's in any of the issues. But it's a 2-page note, just basically telling him how he came to want to write this story and how was the right time to do that. He goes over some different details of his life. He used to be depressed, or like he's gone through depression and whatnot. But he wanted to write a really optimistic character, and that's what Stell is. She is almost abrasively hopeful at times, and really has this theory of no matter what happens in life, as long as you're hopeful or you have some hope to hang on to, you can get through anything. Kind of gives this idea of having a positive attitude and outlook on life will only help you in your life and make everything easier to deal with, no matter what else comes to you. And that's just a lovely ideal to have. Me being a hopeless romantic, love the idea of having a character that is just so blazingly hopeful. And Stell really is that. This first issue kind of sets the story up, puts you in this world, undersea world. You really feel it when they're actually in the water with these deep, dark greens and blues and like oranges. You almost feel like you're being suffocated by the colors. Like, the coloring is so well done. I do have to note, the first impression I got with this book, it is very wordy. It is very heavy at moments. So if you're not in the right mindset or headspace to actually go into this book, it's going to be a very hard read and hard to trudge into. I know I tried that first time, got a few pages in, and it was just not happening. I probably came back to it about a month later and just went straight through it in about an hour or two. So, I mean, being in the right headspace is a necessary thing just to go after this too. This ideal of wanting hope and wanting to chase that dream of hope is so nuanced in this story that it makes you want to root for the main character as well as knowing that nothing is going to stay the same and stay well anyway. Let's see. I've got a bunch of notes. It is mature content. The first, I think, starting off the first couple issues, both 1 and 2, both start. I want to preface this as mature content. Starts off with these sexy scenes, Stell and Joel, and then the second one starts off with their son Merrick. That's the cover for it too. Just some wild, sexy scenes. The dialogue, like I said, it's very heavy, very thick, but written so well to keep the story moving. Right after another bit and another bit. The story itself follows this family, mother and father, Stell and Joel, 2 daughters, Tahoe and Della, and then their son Merrick. They are the blood of the Canes, which is one of the royalty bloodlines of this earth right now. But they have this helm suit of Salus that can only be drove by somebody of their descent with their bloodline. Just a massive beast of a suit. Very cool, very awesome plot points and whatnot. I'm going to dive into the first issue, so there are going to be some spoilers, but it's the first issue, so I don't feel like I'm going to be divulging too much, so hang tight. The first issue, everything gets tossed on its head. Like, you learn about everything gets set up, and then it's like a snow globe. Everything gets tipped straight on its head and throws you 100 miles per hour in the different direction. Stell, the optimistic character, loses basically everything this first issue. She basically literally has her family ripped away from her in some sense. That they get into a precarious situation. Pirates board their ship as they're hunting underwater for some food sources for the city, and so they're boarded by pirates, and those pirates then end up stealing their daughters from them. Even after all this happens, Stell is still able to have this optimistic outlook that she's going to find her daughters. Everything will be fine because she holds out hope for even the slightest little thing. It also happens on the first or second page where her husband and her are talking, and they notice a satellite has found an inhabitable world, and she calls it back, and she says it's going to be 10 years. So this pirate comes, takes their daughters, basically leaves them stranded, and then the story jumps ahead 10 years. Basically where she's in her life, where her son's in her life, and daughters are nowhere to be found. And it goes from there. So that all happens in the first issue. It's such a heavy atmospheric weight. Like, it feels like you get so excited for this world, and then the wind's taken out of your sails, and every time you regain that wind in your sails, it comes and knocks you right back down. And it's that longing for that high spot where you keep reaching for, which makes this story so well done. I do want to get into the art a little bit. Like I said, it shows you all the original covers and whatnot. I'm going to show you some spreads. Like I said, this is the start of issue 2. You can see it's very dialogue heavy on a page. But they have these original paintings for the issue covers. So they are underwater. You can see from the cover, Stell has this great underwater suit. Helps them swim. They get into another situation where it's like swim or die, but I'm going to continue living on. And it has this great panel layout. The whole panel layout for the whole volume is just astonishing, because it's not like, I don't think there's too many pages that are back to back. It's like panels laid out, and they're in the same orientation, back to back pages. Like, there's a lot of similar style paneled pages throughout the book, but they're so widespread and so intricately designed throughout the book that, like, just this page alone, that reaching out, deciding to want to live, like, it's such a good showing of what the story is to be. So her and her son set out to find this drone that has come back. It says there's an inhabitable world. So they leave the city. I believe there's 3 cities, underwater cities. They're in Salis. Another one has been flooded and destroyed, and then there's always been this talk of a 3rd city that they never find. But when they go searching for this drone, a couple things happen. They miss out, and they actually they stumble upon this 3rd city. Lo and behold, that's where the pirates have been held up. I don't want to get too much into it, but like, they do find Tahoe. She is with the helm suit. Like, this art is just beautifully and well done. Like, there's just such amazing spreads. It's a lot of it's this dark greens, dark blues, like oranges and reds. It really gives you the sense of this underwater feeling. It's truly lovely, truly lovely. And then in the back of the volume, they have variant covers for the different issues. I believe they just have the variants for issue 1, yeah. And then they go to a sketchbook of different concepts, designs, and whatnot for the whole story. Basically, that lays out the family. Joel, Stell, 2 daughters, the son. That's the helm suit. So yeah, overall, this whole story is just so beautifully done. I've only read the first volume so far. I'm looking forward to picking up the second volume. Very soon, I've got a stack of other ones that I have to go through. You'll be hearing about some of these from time to time. I definitely think you should pick this up. It's such a great read. Like I said, you have to be in the right headspace and mindset. You have to have this hope in your heart to keep rooting for them. Without that, it's going to be a very slug of a read. I just fell in love with the story. Rick Remender writes these hopeful stories that even though the world's knocking you down, you still get up and try and fight against it. It's a lovely story. I will throw a link down below as well that you can pick it up from instocktrades.com. They have cheaper trades that have been out for a little bit of while. I think the first trade's been out for a year or so, so it's $5.79 on the site right now. So go pick it up, read it, let me know what you felt about it. Like I said, it's so depressingly beautiful. This story really hits on all cylinders. Just makes it a worthwhile read, and I hope you pick it up and let me know what you think down below. I will be doing these comic reviews from time to time. Most of them are going to be over trades. I'm not picking up single issues on anything really right now, minus a few different stories, but I will probably do trade reviews. So if you like these, subscribe, like down below, and we'll be back with another one real soon. So thanks guys, check you later.